Yay!
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome to the live discussion for the City of Brass. Oh no, my camera, I don't know where to hold it up. Yeah, this is the very first live show for the Daevabad read along. My name's Kim from Expedition Free Pages, and this is Manny and Emily, if you'd like to introduce yourselves.
Go for it.
Okay, so I'm Manny. Actually, my real name is Daniela, but everyone calls me Manny, so that's why my channel name is like that. And yeah, I'm from Uruguay. This is my first time live, and I'm very excited to discuss this book because, oh my god, yeah.
And hello, everyone. I'm Emily from Emily Beth Hall. And I haven't been live too many times, but I feel like most of them have been with Kim. So this is, keeping on a great tradition.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm so excited to discuss this book. I literally finished it as Emily did today, and I was like, right, I need to talk about it straight away.
Yeah.
Because what on earth happened throughout this book? But I think before we start, maybe we should do a little non-spoilery section, just about overall thoughts and everything like that. Sorry, my voice is a little bit croaky, so it might come and go. But yeah, so Manny, what were your kind of overall thoughts about this book?
I loved it. I was wary of it at first because I had read that it was sometimes classified as young adult, and I'm not a big young adult reader anymore. I've had bad luck with the past young adult books I've read, so I was like, tentatively, but immediately I was hooked. And the story is so fast paced, and so many things happen that I was like, yeah, I couldn't stop reading it at times. And yeah, that's what I love about reading generally. I love a book that makes me want to keep knowing more. So yes, this definitely did it for me. I loved it.
Hey. How about you, Emily?
Of course, right as you say that, I choke on water. I also adored it. So for context, this is not my first time reading it, but it has been a while. So I was telling them before this started, it's been long enough, pre-pandemic, it was, I think, 2019 when I read this series. So it's been a while, but I adored the whole series while reading it. But those feelings have lingered, but a lot of the details, it's been great to go back and just remember why I love this series so much. I just thought the politics is super interesting. It's interesting that I had never heard it considered YA. That's really interesting.
I hadn't heard that either, actually, but I can see that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's way more adult than.
Yeah.
Why would anyone classify it as young adult? It's very complex.
Yeah, it's super complex.
Yeah.
I think for me, the romancy part maybe was a little bit YA.
Yes, it wasn't really I guess the amount or the level that it went to. Yeah. But yeah, this is what really sparked my love for political fantasies. I love the politics in here. It's just fun to see just Nari. I love her as a character, first of all. I think all the characters are just pretty, even if they're not good people, are just complex, interesting characters to follow. And sometimes we'll do things that you're just like, what? But super interesting. I love Nari as a character. I just think she's so much fun to follow. And so character super interesting. The world is just so immersive, especially just exploring the city with Ali as someone who knows the city more than Nari, who is a newcomer. Just super interesting. And yeah, as you said, man, just super fast paced and never boring, at least for me. Yeah. Just never boring. So yeah. What about you, Kim?
Yeah, well, I kind of same as you two in a way, although it did take me a little while to get into it. So I think the first half of the book, I was kind of going along with it and enjoying it, but I wasn't immediately sucked in. Yeah. And for me, the whole romancy kind of side of it didn't really interest me that much, to be honest. And I don't know, didn't really kind of, but then as soon as it hit halfway, and then I was completely sucked in. And when things really started kicking off, then I really, really enjoyed it. And as soon as I finished it, I wanted to pick up the second one. So I definitely think book 2 is probably, this was a 4-star, I think, for me. And I think book 2 will probably be a 5-star, is my prediction.
You can see the potential.
Yeah, definitely. But same as you, like the characters were all really interesting and they felt very real, and which I really liked. So yeah, it was good. So right, I guess we like crack on with spoiler section now and get into the story. So do you guys have any particular place or something you want to talk about, or I have written some notes.
I don't know where to even start.
Yeah.
Well, should we start with Nari?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of her character.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, you guys, Emily, you said you really liked her. I did like her as well, but I did find her a little bit frustrating.
She can be very frustrating. She's very
yeah.
stubborn. She can be very short-sighted, or like if she has her mind set on something, even if people are like trying to help guide her and like give her advice in different directions, like she's very stubborn and won't always take that advice. We'll definitely do things where you're like, really, Nari? Like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Like very rash sometimes, but you can feel like her indignation sometimes too, though, and like understand where she's coming from. For at least for me, I was like, I can understand where you're coming from. For like,
first, yeah, totally. At first, I was like, yeah, why are you making these choices? These are not good choices.
Yeah.
But knowing what she knew, especially at the beginning when she was traveling with Dara, I was like, why are you doing this? But yeah, she didn't know everything, so yeah, it kind of makes sense. And then by the end, you feel like she's justified in most of the decisions that she makes, because you're like, yeah, what is going on here? Like, yeah. And I was like with her for the last part. I was like, yeah, I'm with you, girl. Like, totally.
And I think it's definitely smart to have a character. Like, I think it was really cool to have one character who is already like deep into the politics of the world and one who's a complete newbie, because I feel like it really helps, because like we're also learning everything as Nari is, so it makes it super helpful. But it was also, I think, nice to have Ali like help introduce us to the tribes and like explore the city. Anyway, but we're talking about Nari, not Ali. So, but yeah, I just think she's just such a spunky, fun character. Like, I underlined so many things that she said because they were just so funny.
She has good quotes, yeah. Agreed.
Great one-liners from her.
But I do think Ali was such an interesting character, because he was like very morally guided, but then very quickly, like, you learn that he's cut someone's hand off to like make everyone equal. So he's kind of like good in a way that he wants everybody to be equal, but then he's done this like horrific thing to someone as well, like fully thinking that he's completely justified. And that is one of the very first things I remember reading about him, was reading that he did that. And I was like, he definitely has that kind of harder side to himself.
Yeah. And it's also just very conflicted. And so it was interesting to have him see so many things that the Shafti were going through and like rightfully be like, okay, this is fucked up. Like, why is this happening?
Yeah.
And then also hearing what he hears from his dad, who's like a complete, it was not great. And his older brother, who's just kind of along for the ride to some degree, and all of the training that he's received, and I don't know, it's interesting to see just how conflicted he is, and just the very strong mixed signals that he either hears from people or sees himself, and just conflicted with, what do I do? Like, how can I help and not put even more people in danger by facing my dad's wrath that I'm like, help these people. Yeah,
that is true. Trying to balance his decision making based on whether or not he's gonna like end up pushing his dad over the edge. There was that really awkward scene between him and his dad where like Ali said, or his dad was saying, when are you going to go against him? And Ali was like, well, only if it's like wrong in the eyes of God. And then he just like looked at him, and I was like, oh, this is so like tense. Because
so tense.
Yeah.
I spent like the whole book scared that the dad was just gonna kill Ali. Like at some point, like he was like, yeah, because he kept doing things. Like, I think Ali has like the best character growth in the book, because he starts as very naive. Like, he knows the politics, but he doesn't really.
He knows parts. Yeah.
And
He
he
knows
has,
parts of it.
you know, he's justified in his ideals and what he believes in, but the real world doesn't seem to want to cooperate with him, and he has no idea how to go about it and help. And
Yeah.
it's, yeah, you can tell that he's really young too. So yeah, I really think Valley is like my favorite character. I'm so invested in his journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. I agree with you, Manny. Ali's definitely my favorite character.
Yeah.
Because it's true, you could see, especially when he's just like giving them the money and he's just like, oh, this is the good thing to do, and going out there and just not thinking of the consequences and believing everything that he's being told by them and what it's being used for. And yeah, he had to learn some like hard lessons, didn't he? Like,
his dad just straight up being like, if you support them, like, I will murder as many innocent people as I have to get you to stop them. Like, damn, dude.
yeah.
Dad is ruthless. Like,
so ruthless.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's mad. Okay, shall we talk about Dara? Dara. And he said Dara. I don't even know where to start with Dara. I feel so like confused about him, I guess. Same as Nari.
Because I was also not invested in, so like the romance, and especially in this one, is like my least favorite part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I never saw it. I was like, no, this definitely has no place. Like, Nari, what are you doing? This guy, no. All like, of the red flags
be in there. Like, why did this have to? I don't know. But yeah, and it is, because he was another interesting one where it's like Nari's hearing very different things from him and like Ali or other characters, and you're like, well, who am I supposed to believe? And like,
so difficult for her.
He'll treat Nari really well, and then like still call people by like awful names, or like treat Ali like
definitely
terribly, and you're like,
that's just like, he's just, I couldn't believe someone could hold on to that much anger for like 14
centuries
years. Like, yeah, isn't that mad? But I guess that all he's done is like been a slave the whole time, and he can't remember a lot of it, so it probably doesn't feel that far away from him.
It's like, very interesting, because you're like, dude, you're centuries and centuries old, like, but he does, for him it must be much less time that happened in between, and he doesn't really remember how, you know, the world progressed. So it kind of makes sense for him to be so resentful and so like single-mindedly focused on getting his revenge or getting whatever. But at the same time, you're like, dude,
like, hey,
hello, hi.
So nice.
Sorry, I'm late. I got distracted feeding cats and making coffee.
Oh, that's all good. Coffee is important. I wish I could have some right now. I nearly did, and then I was like, no, don't go there. Don't go there. You won't sleep till 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Welcome, Mel.
Sorry?
I said welcome.
Welcome, thank you.
We were just discussing Dara and his
Sorry, let me just put my
you go ahead, no worries.
So I can actually hear you properly.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no worries. Just check this.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
We were just discussing Dara and his intense personality.
Yes, indeed. Quite.
So many characters with intense personalities.
Yeah, they're all very intense.
They're all very intense.
None of them
is fun.
Chill whatsoever. I love it. I think it's great.
Mel, what were your overall thoughts of the book?
I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well written. And I thought it was great world building. I really enjoyed the way that she constructed everything. And I just thought it was really well written and really interesting. I'm very intrigued to see what else is going to happen.
Yeah.
It's been a little while since I finished it, so and I've started rereading Realm of the Elderling, so my brain might be not quite in this one yet, but that's okay. We'll keep talking. I'll get there.
Yeah.
Going with that world too. I'm on the third trilogy, and I feel like I need to just keep going and just face the heartache. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's for a different live show.
Yeah, different live show.
Don't distract me with Fitz. I've already got my Realm of the Elderling mug on the go right now.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's really cool.
I still have to read Robin Hobb. I haven't read any Robin Hobb. And I am ashamed as a fantasy reader that I haven't yet.
I'm jealous.
Okay, we forgive you.
It's in my 40 before 40 books, like, which I still haven't filmed, but the list is done. But yes, this year I think I'm gonna start.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I'm excited to watch your journey.
Yeah. But I do love fantasy, and yeah, I really enjoy the world building as well in this book. I love an intricate fantasy. I don't mind it when they info dump. I'm all for it. I love the lore, and I thought it was really well done.
Yeah,
like walking through the. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. What were you saying?
I was just like loved her descriptions of things, just like walking through the different areas of Daevabad. Like, can I please be a librarian in that library? That's like all I want out of life.
Right.
It's dangerous, but yeah.
Like, then she describes a royal librarian just like floating around on carpets to get books. I was like, this sounds like the coolest job. I want that.
Yeah, definitely.
Forget awesome library ladders. Carpet.
Yeah. No ladders needed. Just a carpet. It's like brilliant. I love it.
It is great, yeah. I do want.
That was very cool.
My dream is, as any book lover, the library in the Beauty and the Beast movie with the ladders and the carpets.
Yeah.
That's excellent idea.
Right.
But yeah, the world building is amazing. So many magical things, just little tiny things happening around. The little powers that some of the jinns have and some of the Shafit, and like you're like, I want to know more. Give me more of those details. So I'm really excited to read the next book. What else?
Because actually, there's quite big things put in there, isn't there? Like the shape shifting that some Shafit can do. Like that is hardly mentioned in the book, really. But it must come into play like later on because it's really interesting. But to be honest, like right at the beginning, I was totally lost with the world building. Like when Dara got out his map of the sky and all of that, I couldn't keep track of what on earth is going on.
I love that part.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing. How amazing would it be to like just create a map in the sky and have the little like carpets flying around and the boats and stuff? It's pretty cool.
That was very cool.
Yeah.
I kind of like I know as a reader it can be confusing, but I kind of like that as world building because it feels real. Like it's, you don't know everything, even the city that you live in, you don't know everything about it. You don't know everything that the other people live. You don't know, like there's plenty of places here in Hobart, even just up the road that I've never been. Like yesterday, Rowan and I went for a drive and I swear I went down a road we've never been before. And I was like, don't think I've ever seen this before, and like it's just up the road. So I really like that about the way that she did that, is that like the people that know what they're talking about just talk about it as if everyone else knows, and that's really realistic. I think that's how we all kind of, you got to. It takes a lot to remember that people don't know what what you automatically know just because you know.
That's true, actually. Yeah, because the more they talk about it, the more things get mentioned. Then it just seeps in, doesn't it? And it does feel a lot more natural that way. That's true. That's true.
Yeah. And I really like the shift in perspective because, like, you were getting things from what Dara remembers about Daevabad and like the political situation then, but then you also shift to Ali's perspective, and you're like, oh, but this is completely different. And even Ali doesn't know everything, and he gets to explore new parts of the city, and we go along with him. And I thought it was really smart of the author to do that, so you can slowly start piecing the things together. I really like that.
Yeah, that's true. So with the Shafit, I'm just a bit confused about those guys. Because originally, am I right in saying that like Ali, the Daevas didn't like the Shaffits? Is that right? But Ali's family came in to protect them, but then now they're working against them. That's what's going on, isn't it?
I think so.
Basically,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. I understood it more like Ali's family. I can't remember their tribe name now. Something with G.
Gaziri?
Gaziri, yeah.
Right. Yeah, pronunciation of things is going to be rough. But anyway, they came into power and they were, originally protecting the Shafid. But the Deva portion of Daevabad, who are the, what's left of the Devas, I guess. Is that right? They don't like the Shafid. So, to keep the balance in the city, the king now has to juggle all these things. And yeah, the Devas have a lot of influence, I guess. So that's why they are not protecting the Shafid as much as they could.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very, confusing and wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's part of the why it's hard to keep track too, is because it changes over time, which is why Dara's comment of okay, so Dara, your understanding of politics and morality is 1,400 years old, so you gotta get with the times. But yeah, because I think he, Devas and the Nahids didn't want Shafids because they didn't want Suleiman to get pissed off.
Yeah.
And so, they went on a campaign to wipe out all the Shafi, and then it's all these families, ancestors that protected them and took back over. But with that being some time ago, it just kind of, I think, has gotten more complicated in the meantime to try to keep the peace. And so that's why, Ali's dad is wanting to crack down to kind of keep the peace because it's a very tenuous, at least that's kind of how I understood it too.
Yeah.
So I got a bit confused as well about the different tribes. They're all Deva, but there's only one tribe that are actually called Deva. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
the
then
other
the Shafid are human and Deva hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
Those are Shafid.
Yeah.
And Ali's family, the Gaziris, they call themselves Jinn because they didn't want to be called Devas, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Dara hates the term Jinn. So
right.
Yeah, because it means mixing with humans. Or it means they were happy to mix with humans.
Sympathetic towards.
Yeah.
Because the Deva aren't just no, we don't mingle our blood with humans. They're we don't even hang out with humans.
Yeah.
Whereas the others are no, humans are fine. We just don't have to we don't have to breed with them, but we can talk to them. Yeah. They can exist. That's okay.
Yeah. So the Devas are the ones made from fire. That's all of them are made from fire. And then you've got the water people, the air people, and then the humans or the earth people, right?
Right.
It's really interesting because it is so complex, even with those four. And then it's so much more complex even with in the Deva world.
Yeah.
It's interesting. And it's interesting that they're kind of from human perspective, the gods, I guess. It feels like they're, but then there's obviously a higher power as well on top of that. Who was Suleiman then? Who was that guy?
Yeah, and
Suleiman was a human. Am I?
Yeah, I thought he was human. Yeah.
Human. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I did read the book. I promise. I just
no, and this is because
there's just so much. It's
so much. And they never really describe him in a lot, at least in his history and how we came to be in the position to
make
this curse.
Yeah.
And be the one to be all right, y'all are gonna y'all are gonna have to split up and go to all corners of the earth because you who gave him the I don't know if that's ever really.
I think at some point, they explained how Suleiman was
or was it?
He got the power from God to be able to control the jinn, and that's why he has the seal. No?
Did they ever explain why him though?
Can't remember now.
Okay, because I don't know. I mean, maybe they didn't. I'm just forgetting.
Interesting. I would have to revise that at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now whoever has Suleiman's ring seal thing has the power, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how it goes. Yeah.
My cat just got into my laundry basket. Oh well, we'll just say it's fine.
So Mel, what did you think about like the very kind of early on relationship between Nari and Dara?
Yeah, look, I don't care. Like, it didn't bother me. It was fine, but I didn't particularly think it was necessary. I was like,
Yeah, we
were all on that same wavelength.
yeah.
I think it was. Yeah. No, sorry.
All right, you go.
No, I think it was definitely a case of like forced proximity, and Nari was like infatuated. Dara, I have no idea what are his motivations, but you're like, no.
I think that Dara just hasn't had anyone be nice to him for a really long time. So maybe he was just like, oh, this person's nice to me. I don't know. But with also, I guess, because that whole time they were together was like 2 months, wasn't it? Whereas
it was months.
It didn't feel like that. But if you're with one person for 2 months, you're probably going to develop some sort of closeness to them, I guess. But that was definitely the part that read YA to me, that part.
Yes, definitely. I agree. I thought it was like more of a forced proximity kind of situation, and I don't know how it's whether it's gonna be maintained at all, because I feel like like they definitely built a relationship, but it didn't seem like like you said, why did Dara have any feelings? Like, there doesn't seem to be. I can see why Nari would, because she's younger and she's like, her whole world is different, and the only person that she now feels like she can trust is this guy, and plus he's hot and rah. Like, what are you gonna do, but like, I don't get the impression, like, I don't get why he would, like, I guess maybe he just hasn't had anyone be nice to him or be receptive of him at all in like 200 years or whatever.
I honestly liked her dynamic with Ollie more.
I thought so too. Yeah. I was expecting that relationship to become something, but now that everything's happened with them, everything at the end, I don't know if that would. But
I don't really understand what's happened to him really for Liam. But
those last few chapters, I was like screaming. I have a vlog that I haven't put up yet. It's ready to go, like after the live show. I think I just need to do the thumbnail. And I was actually recording myself reading the end of the book, and I was literally screaming, like, what is going on? What just happened? Why? Yeah, it was a lot. I loved it. It was great.
When Ali went over the side of the boat, like, my heart sank. I was like, she's done it. She's done it. Like, I couldn't believe.
How dare you, ma'am? How dare you?
Yeah, exactly. And then I remembered about all the water stuff, and I was like, no, he's gonna come back. It's the water. And then she did what she did to Dara. So
what is up with the water?
It's
something is going on there, because he heals with the water, right? I didn't imagine that.
No, he definitely did. But like, he was taken over by some kind of weird water spirit.
Like,
it
you don't give your name
weird.
People, or to other mysterious creatures. You don't give your name.
Yeah.
It has power. Have you read books, Ali?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
You have a whole library. Why?
You had a library. You knew this.
Incredible. Yeah. That ended so good.
I'm always amazed when I read books like this by like how the author must write. Like, their writing process just must be so intricate, because there's so much going on, and I'm so much more of a pantser. I just sit down and go blah, and I'm like, people like Brandon Sanderson and people like Asay Shakur, like, they just must spend literally months and months just planning every bit out, and then they're going to do this, and then what about this, and then and I'm just like, how do you?
And here's the family tree, and like,
yeah, and here's the like Tolkien writing, you know, creating languages. Like they must just sit down and be like, okay, let's make a language. Let's make all the maps. Let's, you know, family tree. Let's. Just
it's
like
so much to keep in your head. I don't know how to even like manage to express it in a way that makes sense to people, because like you might have a very active imagination and come up with all these amazing worlds, but the ability to actually put it to paper is, I'm always in awe of writers. I don't understand.
And make it like a story you want to read rather than just like a family tree or a history or, you know, like it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So what do people feel about Montadir? Montadir?
Montadir. Oh my god.
That's the older brother, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can never figure out how to say the name, so I just kind of did that thing that you were saying,
Money,
where I just kind of skipped like.
Starts with M.
Yeah.
I did do that, and I listened to the audiobook, which helped. Like at the end, I started listening to it. I think my same as you, Manny. It's just like, the ending was devastating. It was devastating.
This poor kid. He's not a kid. I was like so sorry for him. Like he's just put in this position that, I really feel for him. And I thought he was a great character too. Yeah. Like the way he's very protective of Ali, but also like trying to get him to fall in line with things so that his dad doesn't. Yeah, he's in a very difficult position.
I thought it was interesting how like at the end he didn't, because obviously he tried to keep it a secret that he was in love with Jamshid. But at the end, because of what happened to him, then he just was so blatant about it, because he was so utter, and that just really shocked me that he was just so like by the bedside and stuff with him, just so blatantly obvious about it. Yeah, just thought, he's so heartbroken. He can't even bear to hide it anymore. Like, which I thought was, although it went over Ali's head, he didn't understand.
Yeah, well, I was going to say though, because they have that friendship bond that people know about, would people like, if they've been around, would they even think anything of it? Like,
they were careful, you know.
People can be very blind when they choose to be.
That is true.
Oh, they were such good friends. Like
such good friends.
Yeah, but no, I was and then the epilogue, I was like, finally things started to like fall into place, and I just can't wait to read the second book now, because I don't understand, like that ending just left me like this, like, and now what?
Same.
Because suddenly I really liked Caven. What's his name? Yeah, because he just like, I don't know. I didn't really like him the whole way through, but then at the end, I was like, oh, he's got something about him. Like he's actually.
Yeah, there's a reason why he's like this, right?
Yeah.
Who knows? You know how it's gonna play out, but I thought it was really, really well done too. Like to keep that under wraps, and and the thing about Nari's mom is, is what is going on with that?
Because I did feel like she must be like alive the whole way. I was like, she can't be gone. Like something must have happened. But I didn't like expect that at all. That there were people still there hiding, which was
yeah. The king's story doesn't really add up.
No.
So I was always like, what is happening? But yes, I'm very intrigued now.
So do you guys think that the king was lying when he said Nari didn't look human?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's like, I'm like, there's something on there.
I'm so gullible. I just believe everything.
I was, when Mel said it in the chat, I was like, oh yeah, because I had initially like believed it as well. I was like, he seemed really shocked to see Nari. Like, how could he have come up with things? But then, I started questioning it, and I was like, he definitely could have, because he knows more than he's letting on, obviously. So
yeah.
I don't entirely trust that she's the daughter of the person who said she's the daughter of either. Like,
Okay.
I mean, it could be, like, obviously, I'm not like dead against that, but I just don't entirely trust pretty much anything that he says.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Probably a good
Yeah, it's
strategy. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's difficult to trust anyone. Like the another reason why Nari and Dara's relationship wasn't really adding up for me either is because it was definitely built on a lot of not deceit, but like a lot of things that Dara was keeping to himself.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
how can she ever trust him now? Like,
Yeah.
and
She can't trust anyone. Like,
yeah.
I feel she like
I
thinks
guess-
you can trust someone, and then they're like, nope.
Mm.
totally.
But I do think at least Ali was very straight with her about so many things. Like even about lying, he's like, yeah, I have deceived you. I don't know. So I feel like they could still have like some sort of trust between the two of them based on, because they're like, Nari's very blunt with everything, isn't she? And so is Ali, because he doesn't. So
yeah, I do see them working out better. Yeah.
But at the end of the book, Ali's been sent away, right, to be hunted and got rid of.
Yeah,
which is just so horrible.
So bad.
I know.
It's so horrible.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I assume we're going to continue in his point of view in the next. I'm curious because they don't always do that. I'm wondering if now that he's been sent off, or if we'll continue to find out more from his point of view.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I haven't looked.
No, me neither. I feel like I need to reread the first one before I read the second one.
No.
There was just so much, and now that I've like I said, now I've delved back into Robin Hobb. I'm like, what? Did that happen to Fitz, or did that happen to? Wait, hang on.
Oh no! If it's something sad, it probably happened to Fitz.
Fitz, yeah, pretty much guaranteed. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what was I going to say? Oh, it's gone. Yeah. So because Ali's been sent to the Jazari land, right? Jazari land, but he needs water. But they hate water. So is there going to be no water in this place? That's what I'm worried about for him. I'm like, does it never rain there? Has it got a swimming pool that he can go in? Like, probably not. So I'm a little bit concerned about his need for water. I don't know, but
he'll find some secret oasis or something, and
yeah, he'll find a way.
And they'll have like the secret spirits of the oasis, and he'll commune with them, and then he'll discover all these secrets.
Oh, and they had at the end, they had Dara's ring as well, didn't they? So he revealed it back, which I was a little bit disappointed in a way, because I felt like his death was quite shocking, and I kind of almost wanted it to stay that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. But I like the way she did it. Like, it didn't feel like one of those, oh, guess what? I'm not dead. La, la,
Yeah.
No explanation. Just
No, I definitely agree that it's going to be used in a good way to make him right. I have faith. I have faith that it's going to be good.
So in that, sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, so many people love this series. Like, I can't imagine that people would be so excited and love it so much if Ali was, if they didn't have all those answers.
Yeah.
But he'll have a tough time, and then the dynamic between Nari and Montadir, who are about to get married.
Oh yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
That part.
You've read the series before, haven't you, Emily? Yeah.
Although
so
I was saying before, it's been a long time. So, honestly, so much of it has left my brain at this point.
Yeah.
Which is why I was excited to reread it, because I was like, well, I know I love this series. I remember the feeling, but none of the details.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who's that? They thought they had Dara's relic. I wonder what that. Do you think that's just a fake that they've switched out, or someone else's relic, or I don't know? Because they had a whole bunch of them, didn't they, as well?
Yeah. And they're just like, we didn't know what to do with him, so we kept him here. Like, okay.
It's so interesting to me that they have all of that down there. Like, okay.
What's really going on here?
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember why they got rid of the Nahid. Because that's a big secret as well, isn't it? But Ali and Munta, that person, had that big conversation about it when he went and showed him. I don't remember why they actually got rid of them. Do you remember why?
I think did they say that it was because it was like disrespectful to leave them without burning them away, so they kept them. Which seemed...
but I thought that they had like killed them in the first place. Did I misunderstand that?
Well, I think it was like a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I think did they say it was because they kept them to like know that they were definitely dead? Did they say that?
Yeah, because that was part of it too.
Yeah, it's all very strange.
I don't know if I'll be able to just like.
Hi, Helen.
Sorry, I understand. I feel you. I'm tired too. Nice to see you.
Hi.
Thanks for popping in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of, isn't it almost midnight for you, Kim?
Yeah, it's like 20 to midnight. Yeah, I was supposed to nap to prep, but I didn't nap, so I'm like falling asleep a little bit.
Probably should let you go soon then.
Yeah, I'll probably have to shoot off in not too long. But yeah, so Nisreen, I thought she was going to be untrustworthy. And then now I'm like, okay, she's not untrustworthy. Like untrustworthy towards Nari. I kind of felt I'd like, who is this woman that's just rocked up and said that she's like, you know.
Yeah, she just turns up and like that's the other thing as well. She just turned up, and then everyone's like, "Oh yeah, you're that person."
Continue.
Yeah, just like, why are we trusting anybody at the moment, even her?
And she's very hot and cold with Nari.
She is, yeah.
And as well, if Ghassan, like the Daevas hated the what are they called, Nari's tribe, the Nahid. Yeah. If they hated each other so much, then why did Ghassan like love Nari's mum so much, or like be obsessed with her so much? Why was that a thing? There's so many questions.
And there was a really tense conversation between Nari and Nisreen too, and I was like, where after she accidentally killed that guy when like trying to keep him alive long enough for his wife to come.
That's horrible.
I felt so bad for her because I was like, yeah, she's right. What do you like? Doctors would practice this a bazillion times before they actually did it on a real person. Like, come on.
I feel like they're all expecting way too much of this person. So much. Like they're excited because it's a Nahid, and it's like, yeah, but she's like half human, first of all.
Yeah.
But also, like, she just turned up. She didn't know about any of this existed. Why are you guys expecting? And why are you getting angry at her when she's saying, I can't do this. I don't know how to do this. And you're like, no, you have to do it. It's blah, blah, blah. And you'll know because you're a Nahid. Well, okay, cool. Aren't you one too?
I'd be so pissed
too. The point?
Yeah, I was so frustrated with that part. I was like, why is nobody acknowledging that this poor girl cannot do this? Like, why? Until, it makes sense that the king just wants, oh my God, so many political machinations. It's amazing. I loved it. Yeah. But
that is also why I wonder, like you said, Emily, what Nisreen really is about. Because if she's supposed to be on Nari, like it's presented as though she's on Nari's side, and she's like on this tribe that used to look after the Nari, and now it's like, well, hang on, why are you expecting so much? Like, she gets so angry at her for not doing it and for complaining and then she gets so angry at her for what happens, and it's like, well, she told you she couldn't do this.
Like, what do you expect?
What do you want from this poor teenager? Like,
yeah.
How old is Nari?
I'm not sure.
She's not a teenager, I think. She's 20.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like 2021.
But
still very young.
Yeah, very young.
And especially compared to like all of these jinn who are, hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I did think as well,
like, for a human, much less a djinn. Like,
yeah,
come on, guys.
yeah, true.
Yeah, I love that line when she was like, "No, doctors train for years and years and years to like be able to like do basic things, like basic human things, let alone all these magical maladies that happen that I have no knowledge of."
They are so mind blowing. Those maladies, diseases, things that they get. You're like, okay, that's not. No, thank you.
Like, someone's turning into a bird, and I'm supposed
I know,
to
I love
do
that.
with this. Like,
That
was
poor guy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I did think, like, for Nari, it must be so, because like she's in this place where everybody like looks up to her so much and is obviously expecting so much of her. But this whole culture means nothing to her. Like there's no ties to it at all. And then I think like it must be so traumatic already to like not have any family, and then to go somewhere and have to live up to your family that you have no idea who they are. Like it must be,
and the street gets pissed at her for that, because she was like, "Wait, don't you give a shit at all about our culture?" She's like, "I was plucked here out of nowhere. Like,
what culture?
What do you want from me? Like, I've spent most of my life in Cairo.
And when she goes to the temple, that is, I think it was really well done. When she goes to the temple and everyone is like almost worshiping her, and she's like, okay.
Yeah.
And she sees the pictures of like, you know, her ancestors and everything, and she just, yeah, it must be so, it should be, I don't know what the word is, but very disconcerting, I think, to be dropped into this world and be expected to do all of these things and care about all of these things, and you're like, no, I don't believe in any of this. Like, I have no reason to believe in any of this. I think it's the point.
And it's overwhelming for us to read about it. So imagine if that was your life, having to kind of take it all in. Yeah, it was a lot. Sorry, I was just looking at my notes to see.
I didn't take any notes.
But I think because I think the most shocking part with Dara for me was like, not shocking because you knew he has this like bad side, but to see it played out when he tried to kidnap her, basically to take her away, when he suddenly turned into this overbearing kind of abusive partner, like, you will leave now. Like I was like, okay, yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't know if I can defend him anymore, because before you kind of were listening to him and were thinking, you know, everything he was doing was for the best, but actually it was a massive bully.
Yeah.
Like,
the fight that he has with Ali too, you're like, why are you doing this? Like, you took it so out of like proportion. It's that's where I was like, okay,
hang on.
I was already suspicious about you, Dara, but now I'm like, no, too many red flags. But yeah, the manipulation too of like telling Nari that she has to leave or he will kill Ali, and then definitely bad.
Throwing all the red flags.
So was that why at the end Nari was like, was she kind of pretending to be that upset over Dara, so that, because I felt like she'd manipulated that whole situation to like get the marriage negotiation and get married, and then
I felt that too, I think.
Yeah, because she can't have been that upset because of what happened was she saw him in his actual true light. So
I think she was just trying to see what she could do to make the best of the situation.
Which is what she's good at.
I mean, like, no one's fought for her for literally her entire life, so I was like, okay, like, I see why.
I liked it when they were learning, when she was teaching Ali about all the human world and like showing him like the lock and stuff. He's like, oh, so upset. This is really boring.
I like those more lighthearted scenes in the middle of all the chaos and really good.
Having teaching sessions, like, oh, this is wholesome.
Yeah, I always love that in books when characters have those moments of like, something that they can connect with each other, and I think that's it does a really good job of building the relationship, and that why Nari then feels more attached to Ali, I guess, and vice versa. I think it was really good, especially given how first Ali reacts to Nari when she appears, like changes his opinion.
Nice.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
Because it is a weird dynamic, because I know like it doesn't read YA at all, but obviously the moments of the relationship felt a bit like that. But I did think like some of the scenes were horrific, like even right at the beginning with the ghouls and her being like held down and stuff. Like that was quite I was quite frightened reading that. And then at the end when Ali was being stabbed by that person, it was quite great.
It was very shocking, yeah.
Yeah, very descriptive.
Gory, like, it was definitely not young adult.
No.
I tend to think of like love triangles as young adult.
Yeah.
And I kind of see that, but I like it when the love triangle is well done. And when it represents other things. Like if Nari chooses Dara, she's choosing like one way of life or whatever, and if she chooses, not that she has to choose, but you know what I mean, like
yeah,
represent different paths, and I think that's when it's well done. Not when I like both of these people, like no, they represent different things.
Because that was what I was frightened it was going to turn into. Like as soon as I got Ali's perspective, because I wasn't expecting it, I was like, oh no. But no, you're right.
It was well done.
It was well done. It was definitely well done. And it's believable, like, why that would happen as well, because of Nari's situation. And like we said, that she's kind of forced proximity with both a little bit. So it's kind of like, you know, Ali's teaching her, but then Dara's the one that saved her. But then, But
what was that? Was it because Nari touched his ring when they were in the desert? Is that why she had control of him at the end? Because the ring... You know, when she was like, I can't remember what she said that made him go on the rampage on the boat right at the end, but the ring like kind of sparked to life. And I was wondering if that was connected to her touching the ring. I don't know, right at the beginning.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why she suddenly had power over him. I was a bit confused. Or was that just because she's magical and she can do that? But that's quite a power.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have to reread the last part definitely again, because I read it at like midnight. I finished the book at 3 a.m. Like I could not stop reading, so it kind of became like a blur of things happening, and you're like,
yeah.
I love when those moments happen, though. Like,
No, it was like, it was some, she just shouted a command, I wish you'd do this, and then...
right.
And he responded to her wish. Like, she was his master.
Maybe it was the wish thing. Maybe it's she's bringing the whole genie wishes thing in.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Because that's not what happened with Ali at the end, is it? You know, when he gave the name, is that what happened to Dara when he got turned into a genie slave? Or is that something slightly different? Because that's what I thought
it was different.
Yeah, that probably was different.
Yeah, because Dara became Jinn. Devas become jinns or like genie slaves when they are killed. And
they have to be killed first.
They have to be killed, right? So he's drowned.
The relic.
And the relic is kept somewhere separate, right?
Yeah.
That's what happened with Ali, because he still has his relic, no? Or am I remembering things?
He probably would, yeah.
Yeah, he keeps it in his ear. Was
he gives his pierced in his ear.
So definitely different things. But I remember now the wish thing. She wishes for something and Dara does it. But I don't remember if I thought about why that happened.
Yeah.
So I don't
know. I didn't think anything. I didn't think.
No. It's only because, like, right at the beginning when they were in the desert on their own, there was a point where she was going to steal his ring, and she touched it, and then she got attached to it.
Yeah, and like saw some memories.
Yeah, maybe that was just when she saw the memories. I don't know.
But maybe it did create a connection, and maybe it has something to do with the phrasing of the wish or something. Or maybe he just was like, saw the wisdom of what she wished for and he just did it.
No, I think doesn't it say also that she was wishing it like intent, or does it say that it was just a random wish? I can't remember now, but
because she does it again, I think, like afterwards, because he like
yeah,
when he goes a bit funny because of her command.
Yeah.
Because I was like, why are you not wishing him to stop? Like, you've just wished him to do this thing. Just say, I wish you to stop. And then she never did. But like, and I thought that's because she didn't understand what she had done. But then I feel like she did it again. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I've got to read it again. I mean, I literally read it today. But
no. We definitely should post your memories, the freshest, yours and Emily.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I just think there was so much going on that I've just not retained everything.
Yeah.
That could be. I think it's one of those series that will definitely benefit from a reread.
Yeah.
Because you can pick up more details, and I love when you find something that you know that in a few years you're going to want to reread. That's always a great feeling. Like,
yeah, definitely. Like Fitz, I want to reread that too.
Yeah, I'm rereading it, and like some of the little maid and the Queen's Maid, I'm like, stop. All these little things that you're like, Fitz.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, I can't wait to reread that series. I don't know when I'm going to do it.
But we're talking about
no. Yeah, sorry.
No,
it's so easy to go back to Robin Hood.
No, it's definitely been good though, is that I basically forgot everything, and also Matt makes fun of me for having so many books that I say I'm gonna reread and never rereading them.
Yeah.
Why do you keep them here if you never reread them? I'm like, stop.
I'm going to. I will one day.
I will one day. And then as soon as Kim reached out to me with this, I was like, see, I reread books. I'm gonna reread this.
But then Jesse then turn around and be like, well, what about all these books you haven't read yet?
Yeah.
The most fun my fun those too.
It's
like,
impossible.
I can't win.
You know.
Well, I'm super looking forward to reading book 2.
Yeah.
Same.
I'm so excited.
Excited.
When do you think you're going to start, Mel?
I don't know. That's a helpful response, isn't it? Sometime.
Yeah.
No,
I'm going to wait.
I think I'm going to wait too. I think partly because I'm like in this reread, so I'm like nearly at the end of Royal Assassin, and then I probably will go straight into Assassin's Quest. But then I think once I've read the Farseer trilogy, I will try very hard not to go straight to Live Ships, and I'll pick up.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll even pick up something else, and then like a non-fantasy, and then do. Is it Kingdom of Copper? Is that the next one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the next one.
So probably towards the end of April, I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll probably wait because I won't remember anything if I read it too early.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing. I've proved to myself this evening that I won't remember it.
I remember more than I thought, which is good. But yeah, I've not been reading that much lately, so I want to make sure that I have the time to read it. So I think I will start next week, tentatively. I need to finish my reread of The Starless Sea, which I should finish soon.
Another one on my shelf that I want to reread and will reread someday.
I'm so enjoying this reread, like I can't even tell you. So yeah, maybe after that. And maybe I'll read The Old Man and the Sea in the middle.
Yeah, how about you read that right now?
TV, let's go.
Yeah. I definitely should. I'm intrigued now because again, has nothing to do with this, but I did read it a long time ago. So
really?
I may change my mind about it. So I'm kind of excited to see if I still feel the same.
I need to find a C one. I don't know. I mean, the Old Man and the Sea is short, which is at least nice, but I need to figure out what I'm going to do for that one. Anyway.
Yeah, so does anyone have, apart from Emily, Does anyone have any kind of thoughts on like where it's gonna go? Like,
No.
No, I have no idea.
I have questions. That's all I have.
Yeah,
honestly.
same.
yeah.
Like,
I think I most want to know what's happened to Ali. That's my number one thing.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Second, what's up with Nari's mom or not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Backstory there.
Mhm.
Third, will they actually go through with the wedding? Is that a thing that's going to happen? Because I'm like, no, surely it's not going to happen. Something is going to come up in the middle, but like what? And if it does, it will be very interesting. So I don't know.
Like, yeah. I mean, Nari definitely wants it to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I realized we didn't talk about those things that were after her. What are they called?
The Ifrit.
The Ifrit. Yeah.
True.
Oh yeah.
What were the Ifrit? I guess I sound like an idiot.
Yeah,
but I
no. They were the ones that, so most people, or most Devas accepted the punishment under, like when Suleiman cursed everyone. Most of the Devas were like, all right, fine. And the Ifrit are the ones who tried to fight Suleiman, or tried to resist. And then
so they're like the most,
into
they're
like
the
freaky monster. I don't know.
Yeah, those are like mortal enemies, I would say, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
the Devas might have their own, tribal disputes or whatever, but like the Ifrit are like, we're all against them. No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think that's how it. But they've kind of like turned into something a bit different than just Deva, haven't they? Like they've kind of turned into, I guess, demons as opposed to
demons.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone's done some art. Oh, I kind of want to look this up now. I'm sure someone's done some like fan art of.
I've been torn between wanting to look that up because I am very visual and I want to see what other people imagine them as, but also I don't want spoilers. So
yeah, because I can't picture things in my head. Like I have no pictures in my head, so
really?
I can't. Yeah, I just don't imagine things when I read. So I'm finding it really hard to like know what I'm thinking about. If you know.
Yeah.
So that's weird. But I suppose Emily, you'd be able to show us without what's.
We should put you in charge of searching for fan art and putting it in the Discord so that we can all see it.
Okay.
That's your homework.
Yeah, add some pictures.
Like, what does an Ifrit look like? All right, I'll see if I can put something.
But also interesting, I just remembered one of the Ifrit mentioned Nari's mom. So
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like it sounded like they were working for her.
Yeah.
So maybe they're not
that's
as
separate as
we
they're not
think.
as evil as.
Yeah, like definitely something else is going on that we don't know.
Because when that one was screaming when she killed that Ifrit as well, and she was like, "Oh, you guys have more emotion than I thought you were gonna have."
True.
Yeah, that's right. True. Oh my God, so many things.
There are so many, and this isn't even considering the humans.
Yeah.
I feel like a bit worried about that guy she used to drink tea with because I'm like, did they go and hurt him?
Yeah.
I hope not. I feel like we'll meet him again, maybe. That's why.
That would be
the coolest opening scene, though. Just like her conning someone, and then with the apothecary owner, like this is a fun opening. I like this.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, you get a really good sense of like the world that she lives in that first chapter. It makes you all more excited to see what's going to happen later to her because you're like, no, she's not staying here. So, what makes her leave and what makes her, and then the ghoul thing happened, and I was like, yeah, okay, great, amazing.
Yeah,
but I'm very excited now. I need to finish the Starless Sea and get on it.
You can do it,
guys. I think I'm gonna have to shoot off because it's
fair enough.
Night.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
It took way longer than I would have been able to. I commend
you. Same.
I'm going to dinner.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I usually stay up quite late anyway. So yeah, great. Well, I see everybody. Yeah, no, you're welcome. You're welcome. And we'll see everyone in the Discord. So he wants to join in.
Kingdom of Copper.
Yeah, Kingdom of Copper. It's actually in the living room. I was going to hold it up, but I'm not going to get it.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Thanks for the chat, guys. Thank you for coming on my channel.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.
See you later.
Bye.